Alright, what's up guys? Thursday, July 14th. Market's going to open up in about an hour here, and if we look at the futures, which are down about 1%, here's where we're at. All of the progress that the bulls made last week, they've pretty much given it all back here. So with the big 3 indicator, which is now live by the way, anytime the labels are red, whether it be for the daily, the 15 or the 5 minute, that means that that time frame fits all my bearish criteria. And if we have the red dots, it's the same thing. So the dots and the labels go hand in hand here. A yellow label would be neutral, and a green label, which we got a lot of those on the US dollar here, the Dixie. The green label is my buy signal. So going back to the S&P futures here, one more thing to touch on. I use the Squeeze Pro, but everybody doesn't have the Squeeze Pro. So if you're using the OG Squeeze, anytime one of these time frames is either bright green or bright red, so if you look at the 5 minute, it's bright red, that means it fits all the bearish criteria, plus there's a squeeze on the OG Squeeze. But for the futures here, guys, if we, in terms of the progress that they made last week, here's what I mean by that. Even if you look at like an hourly chart on the QQQ here, or the futures rather, right, so back here we have the sell signal, right, which that means the path of least resistance is to the downside. Then they cancel out the sell signal. Then they kind of rebuild the structure of the hourly chart, and then we get some buy signals. So with those green dots there, that means everything fits my bullish criteria. So as far as the criteria goes, here's kind of the power of the indicator. All of the ingredients, meaning everything that goes into the indicator, a lot of it is based on a lot of my favorite indicators. So, a lot of these indicators are free, and if we were to throw them all on the chart at one time, this is pretty much what it would look like. But these are the things that I lean into as far as looking for trend, structure, and momentum. So that was kind of like that A-plus moment in time, when the market was gearing up for a nice push. One, because we had the squeeze. All right, so there's our compression and then our expansion. And I think a better way to look at it is it's the buildup of energy and then the release of energy. But how do we know if that squeeze is going to fire to the upside or the downside? Then we want something that we can look to as far as structure goes. So for me, that's the positively stacked EMAs. Meaning the 5 EMA is above the 8, and the 8 is above the 21 is above the 34 is above the 55, and the 55 is above the 89. So we had a squeeze. The squeeze had bullish structure because of the stacked EMAs. And then as far as trend and momentum, you could look at, ADX and DMI. So if ADX, the white line, is above 20, your trend is bullish, and if the DMI is green above red, momentum is bullish. So we had a squeeze, we had bullish structure because of those stacked EMAs, and the momentum and the trend was bullish on that time frame as well. So these are all powerful things, right? Now granted, it's kind of a lot of crap to look at. So the big 3 indicator, basically replaces all of those things and just turns it into one indicator. One buy or sell signal. So the bulls had a little control last week. What's important to keep in mind is when the S&Ps or the Qs, even on an hourly chart, in the short term when they can kind of, fix their structure here and flip things bullish, that's when we're looking to get busy on these, 30-minute, 60-minute squeezes. So looking back at last week, just a lot of examples here. One being Costco. So here's my favorite combo. Could be a 30-minute, could be a 15-minute, could be a 2-hour, 4-hour. But a lot of examples last week were these 30-minute squeezes with the 30-minute buy signal. And of course, at the time, we had the green label as well. But for Costco, right, 30-minute squeeze, we got the buy signal, beautiful push. 30-minute squeeze, buy signal, beautiful push. 30-minute squeeze, notice how we lost the buy signal? It's time to be a little bit cautious, right? If you're long, you got to get ready to exit. And if you're not long, it no longer is A+. Right, something about the criteria changed. Last week we also had Zoom. So this was a trade that we did in my mastery. Right, 30-minute squeeze, 30-minute buy signal, and remember if the dot is green, that means there's a squeeze on the OG Squeeze. So what I do a lot is I'm looking with the Squeeze Pro, looking for those different kind of compression squeezes. But we hit Zoom here for a nice 50% return. Another example here is Roblox. Right, beautiful 30-minute squeeze. You got the big 3 buy signal, and then you had, I mean, there's a lot of examples from last week. Even a 15-minute time frame. So if you look at Apple, say you're a day trader, you run the scans, you look for these 15-minute squeezes with the buy signal. Those can make for some great trades. When you lose the 15-minute buy signal, you're not looking for that trade anymore. So for today, guys, as far as the S&Ps and the Qs go, being that they basically are driving the bus here, at this point we have a daily 2-hour, 1-hour, 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute sell signal on the S&Ps. In other words, pretty much from top to bottom, as far as my criteria goes, everything is bearish. So basically, the bulls have got no chance here, for survival, other than, attempting to trigger a short squeeze. And I'm kind of thinking, guys, if that short squeeze doesn't happen here today, if we're going into the weekend, tomorrow we're trading under support here, being that we're in a downtrend, being that we have all these sell signals, things could get a little bit ugly. So my best advice for today is be patient, and if you guys are interested in the indicator, I do have a webinar coming up next Wednesday, and the indicator is also live for purchase. So if you guys have any questions, drop them down here in the comments. But for this morning, the bears have kind of taken control here of the structure. So the bulls have got a lot of work ahead of them. That is for sure. But yeah, guys, have a good day. Wish you all the best of luck, and I'll put the link for the indicator down here in the description. And again, let me know if you found this helpful. As far as a few things to, keep an eye on heading into the open. Kind of setting the tone for the day. But alright, guys, I'll talk to you soon.